Today, you are going to have to come up with the inequalities on your own and graph them and shade them. All right, but you got to come up with them on your own. So very introductory one here, number one. I've graphed two of them already. Everyone see the two lines that are already graphed. I need your help to write a system of inequalities, so two or more inequalities that describe where the forests are going to occur. So here's what I need from you in your group right now is if I were to shade both these lines, I want the overlapped region to be the forest. So tell me this right now. Where are you going to have to shade both these lines if they're going to intersect at the forest? Above, below, one of each. What do you got for me? Both of these lines need to be shaded above. So I need an inequality that says, hey, you're going to shade above those lines because that's the only place where they would intersect where the forest is. So let's start with this first line right here. You're welcome. I gave you the equation already. 5t minus 7p. I'm not going to put an equals here because we're doing inequalities. 70. Here's what you got to do right now, and you and your group. You told me where do I have to shade for that line? Above. I need the correct inequality symbol in between there that says, yes, you would shade above. Solid or a dashed line? So you got to have what at least attached to it? Or equal to, all right? So here's what you got to play around with in your group. Is it going to be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? How are you going to know which one it works? Pick a point that you would shade. You said shade above. You and your group right now, pick a random point, plug it in, and you figure out which inequality symbol should go in there now. Got a minute or two right to do it. Go ahead. Pick a point where it would be shaded above. Plug it in for T, plug it in for P, and you tell me at the end here what inequality symbol would make it true. Any group or person confident and they know the symbol? I got a less than or equal to. Yes, no, maybe? Okay, ready? First of all, I know some people are still confused. What point you pick? 30, 30? 40. Okay, calm it down. 40, 30. All right. Hey, here's what Langston just did. She plugged in 40 for T minus 30 for P. And she said, okay, I get 200 minus 210. I get negative 10 out of that. Is negative 10 and 70, how do they compare? Negative 10 is less than. And we already talked, we got to have the or equal to because it's a solid line. All right? We okay there? All right, now, this line right here. I've already told you it's 3t minus 35p, and it's something negative 140. Do the same thing. Where do you have to shade for that line as well? Above. Okay, got to shade above, so pick some point above it. Pick some point above it, plug it in, and see what symbol you got to give me for this one. Anybody else confident in their inequality symbol? Can look around, become confident as you look around. What's the inequality symbol for that one? Also less than or equal to, yes. So both of them are less than or equal to. That's the only way I could shade both above and be in the forest. I think on Monday you get back, I want to be in the grasslands now. Okay, just a heads up, not that you care, but Monday we get back, what do my signs have to be if I want to be in the grasslands? All good? All right, any questions there picking the correct sign? All right, next one. From scratch now. From scratch. Equation, graph, shade. From scratch. Elevators. Anybody scared of elevators? Let's just go there first. Anybody not ride elevators? Got a fear of them? I always think that's interesting. Escalators, maybe? That's a whole different ball game. Escalators, you don't pay attention. Oh boy, that's not going to look pretty on the top or the bottom. Or is anybody that person who goes backwards on it and tries to be that person? Yep. Yep. And hey, look at me. Yep. As I come down and give you forearm shiver right to the grill. All right. Elevators can only hold 2,000 pounds. Okay. The capacity can only hold 2,000, nothing more. Average child, 50 pounds. Average adult, 150 pounds. Let's write an inequality that describes when X children and Y adults would cause it to overload. Cause it to overload. All right. How much does average kid weigh? 50. How do I represent that? 50x, because that's X is for children. So 50x. How do you represent the adults? Plus 150. Now here, be careful here. You want it to overload. So think about the symbol I should put here. What should be my symbol if it overloads after 2,000? Greater than? Hey, should I throw the or equal to in there? No, because it's at 2,000. So if it was equal to 2,000, it'd be all right. So you came up with the equation. There's the first step. The second one, let's graph it now. Now, get used to this. Hey, take a look, kiddos. Because we're doing word problems, get used to this. We're only going to have first quadrant. We're probably not going to do this anymore. Your traditional, we're only going to stick with the first quadrant. Here's why. Can you have a negative amount of people? No. These word problems, usually you can't have a negative amount of anything. Even though some of you on that quiz thought you could have a negative amount of ounces. But never mind. All right. That's another day. Okay, so we're just going to keep it to the first quadrant. First quadrant only. Get used to that. All right. Hey, nothing changes. What intercepts are you going to find right now to graph? X and Y intercepts. Don't change a thing. Numbers might be slightly larger. All right. X-intercept will be something 0. Y-intercept will be 0 something. I'll let you guys figure that out right now. What'd you guys, X-intercept? 40, 0. And hopefully you didn't go into panic mode. Y-intercept 0. 13, about 13.3 repeating. And you got to set up your own axes now. Sorry, you got to set it up. All right. You got to make sure at least your x-axis goes up to 40. Your y-axis at least goes up to 13.3. You guys can go by whatever you want. I prefer not to scrunch your graph. Try to spread it out. Can I steal somebody's idea? What do you want to go by on the x-axis? Fives? I'm all right with that. I'll steal that one. We can go by fives. I'll spread it out, though. 5, 15. You're going by tens. No, I'm not. There's a 5 in the middle of each. 35, 45. Can I steal somebody's idea for the y-axis? I don't want to go by fives. 1,000?
Wait, sorry. Wait, one. Oh my God, sorry. What?
1,000. Ones are fine, I guess. Sure. All right, 40, 0. Estimate about 13.3 here. Right there. How many people? I'm not going to say a word. I want to see how many people I can catch. And I'm doing this because I did it wrong, 5th period. And I remember my mistake. What do you want me to draw right now? Dashed. Yeah, dashed. Guy forgot that 5th period. They were all over me. Shouldn't it be dashed? Yeah, it should be dashed. Shading. Still test what? 0, 0. Go ahead, test 0, 0. Tell me if it works or not. We got a true or a false here. Yeah, 0. I don't think 0 is bigger than 2,000, right? So we're going to shade away. Jason, can you do a class a favor? Can you select an ordered pair, an XY pair from that shaded region for us? Clear the one that's clearly in that shaded region. 50, 15? Okay, I agree. That's in there. There was infinite amount he could have picked, but he chose 50, 15. What are those coordinates? So he picked 50, 15. What do they represent now in this situation? What's the 50 represent? X coordinate, so it's kids. So 50 children. And what's the Y one there represent? 50 adults would do what? 50 children and 15 adults would overload the elevator. It's a lot of people, huh? You went real extreme, Jason, huh? You could have told me what? Five children and 14 adults. That would have done it too. Okay, any combination in the shaded region would overload the elevator. Nice job. Anyone all right? We finished it on a high note now. Questions? You ever been on an elevator, Ian? Okay. Anybody never been on one? That would be amazing. If you've never ridden in an elevator before, you just took the stairs. I do, by the way. I've ridden in an elevator, but if I have the option, I'm going stairs. Because if you're that person in the elevator with me, if I'm going from the 1st to the 7th, and you're going from the 2nd to the 3rd, you're going to get a look. You're going to get the judge look, the judging look from me.
What if they go climb stairs?
If stairs are available and you're going one floor, you use them. Okay, you can take the if the elevator is the only thing, then yes, take the elevator. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. No big deal. I think I've talked about this. If people hit the handicap button to open the doors and they're fully able-bodied, that drives me insane. I don't care if I have 10 boxes I'm holding. I'm somehow getting the doors open for myself and not pressing that darn button. All right. There's a wheelchair on the button for a reason. Okay, it's not for able-bodied people, unless they're just lazy as heck, which would be the case. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Hey, everybody going anywhere for break? Good breaks, anybody? What? Oh, that must be nice. Nice. Have fun. You gonna be back on Monday? That kid, there he is. Yep, that kid. 10 days isn't long enough for me. Yep. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. All right, last one. All right, now we are going to come up with our own. Last one was just one inequality. Now we're going to come up with a couple of them and try to graph them. Here we go. Let's get through this one. First, figure out what the variables should equal. All right, because you're going to have two variables in this one. All right. You got a person with no more than 15,000 to invest in 2 investments. One's a high risk, one's a low risk. You got to put at least 2,000 in the high risk, and the amount you put in the low risk has to be at least 3 times the amount at the high risk. That's a lot of words there. Find and graph the system describes all possibilities of money in the high and low risk. All right, so I think we got our variables. What do you want X to be? That's the money we put into high risk. That's fine. So money into high risk. And then Y obviously would be the money you put into low risk. You should be coming up with 3 inequalities right now. Can you do it without me saying a word? Anybody got at least one? You can do it. Don't shake your head at me, no. I've seen you do some pretty amazing things this year, aka pass a Regents exam. I think you can handle this. Let's just come up with one. Come up with one of the inequalities. Okay, X plus Y, the total amount of money you put in has to be no more than 15,000. What inequality symbol for no more? Less than, can I put the or equal to? It can be 15,000, just no more than that. So less than or equal to 15 grand. You got one of them down. Next one. At least 2,000 is to be placed in the high risk. What did we call the high risk? X. You're not going to have a Y with this one. At least 2,000. At least 2,000. So this should be what symbol? Greater than, can it be equal to? Yep, at least 2,000. And we've graphed those before. You got one more. Ready? I think we can get this one. Furthermore, the amount you invest at low risk. What's low risk for us? The Y. Keep reading. Has to be at least. At least. What's symbol for at least? Greater than or equal to 3 times the high risk. 3x. Here we go. What's wrong with it? I'm not even going to fight this one. Not even going to fight this one. All right, let's graph them. Remember, we don't need these anymore. You can't have a negative amount you invest. All right, so stick with the first quadrant. Stick with the first quadrant here. Oh, nope. Okay, let's graph the first 2 because the last one's going to be a little tricky. Okay, find your X and Y intercept for that first one. What do you notice? They're both what? Both X and Y intercept. There should both be 15,000 each. So 15,000, 0, 0, 15,000. Make a decision. What do you want to go by on your X and Y axes? Because I got to hit 15,000. What do we want to go by here? And I'll take your suggestion. Probably not 2s. I can go by 5,000. 5,000? That's like 3 marks and we're done. I like 1,000. Spreads that sucker out. Yeah. I'll go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at that, right to the top. Solid or dash for this one? Solid, yep, or equal to, solid. Hold off on those colored pencils because you're going to have to shade 3 times. That's going to be a mess. Everyone got it graphed? We're okay? Go ahead, graph it, and then we can talk where do you shade, above or below. What do you think, above or below? Plug in 0, 0. Above or below, guys? Below, yep, we would shade below. Not yet, though. Just visually, we would shade below it. You ready for x is greater than or equal to 2,000? What type of line? Don't even say it. Vertical, thank you. Not a straight line, a vertical line. Shh. Dashed or solid? I was thinking of the word there. Solid going through 2,000. 1, 2. Where would you shade here? To the left or to the right of that vertical line? Well, you can plug in 0. Is 0 greater than 2,000? Nope. So I wouldn't want to shade towards 0, 0, so I'd shade to the right. Do you see where these two would overlap yet? Just in this triangle? So here's where we're down to. That whole graph got minimized to this one right here. We got one more to graph. Everyone at this point, because this next one is a little bit different than we're used to. Here's why. All right, let's find the y-intercept. Plug in 0 for x. What's the y-coordinate? Plug in 0 for x. What's your y-coordinate? So it's 0, 0, 0. Plug in 0 for y. Well, you divide both sides by 3. What is also your x-intercept? So both your intercepts came out to be, that doesn't help me. I need 2 points, the graph, a line. That doesn't help me. We're stuck there. Okay, we're stuck. Does everyone see both intercepts came out to be 0? All right, well, we've got to maybe go back to algebra 1 here. Anybody remember what that 3 meant? That's called the what of the line? Slope. So where could you go from 0, 0 now to get another few more points? Up how many? 1, 2, 3 over. Yeah. So we can use the slope if both intercepts came out to be 0, 0. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Yep. Solid or dashed? Solid. And you run into another problem. I'll wait till somebody tells me my next problem. I can't test 0, 0 to shade because you're going to get 0 is equal to 0, and that doesn't help me. Solution to that problem? Pick another point. That's not on the line. Pick another point that's not on the line there, kids. $1,000, I guess we could. Can we just make a class decision here? I don't like it the way that's drawn in. Anybody, can we make another point for me? What other point? 5,000? 5,000? Or 5,500? Okay, you got it. So this point right here. All right, so plug it in. Is 5 greater than or equal to 15? 5 greater than or equal to 15? No. So where would you shade? Below or above this line? If I don't want 5,500. Above. All right, do we see the figure that's going to get shaded in now? Okay, we said below the first line, to the right of the second line, and above or to the left of the last line. Everyone see that little patch, that little triangle there? That's not going to work. I didn't think so. Should just color it in. Nope. Nope. Just color it in. There it is. All right. And then you could give me any high risk amount and any low risk amount that would fit into there, whatever points in there. We all good? Okay, enjoy your break. Monday you'll be practicing this when we get back.